Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to start the tuning process on this B58 powered BMW. So I wanted to bring you guys along for the ride as I begin to tune this car. Thus far it just has an intake and a downpipe. I was debating between boot mod and MHD. I'm quite familiar with MHD and I prefer it, to be honest. Eventually I may need to go boot mod when I get a custom tune, but for now with the stock turbo I want to leverage the stock maps for MHD and see how it plays out. I already have the MHD wireless adapter which I'll be leveraging today. So I'm going to go ahead and connect this to the car, and one of the first things we want to check is if the ECU is locked. So one of the first things you're going to do is download MHD for F and G series. So now that I connected the wireless adapter to the car, I gotta look for the MHD wireless network that was set up, and it's not gonna find the ECU until I turn the key on. As you can see, no unlock needed. You can directly flash the car with MHD. It's a 2018. Had its software updated over the years, it may have been an issue, but we're good here. There's no issues. I can go ahead and go straight to downloading the map pack. So because this car already has a downpipe on it, I'm going to flash a MHD map. I want stage 2 93 octane. I would have done HPFP if I had already upgraded my high pressure fuel pump, which I have not, so this would be what I'd want, okay? And then we just press this arrow here. Now we can select options. I want to disable the cold start because it's really obnoxious. So cold start, noise reduction, and then other than that, no exhaust burbles. Now I have to do a long write given this is the first time I've flashed this ECU. So now it's saying, hey, you don't have the license pack. First of all, I need the flasher pack and I need the stage 2 maps pack. So I'm going to obtain those licenses and come back and let you know approximately how much they cost. Okay, so I'm back after the license upgrade. We're going to go to flash MHD map. It already has it. This is an auto. We're going to go to stage 2, not the HPFP because it doesn't have an upgraded HPFP. And then we'll double check our options. I want the cold start, noise reduction. So we'll go back, hit a long right. So it's doing its thing now. I'll come back after this completes. So if you guys are new to tuning, then it's really this easy nowadays with a wireless adapter, provided your ECU is unlocked and it doesn't need a bench unlock. You know, you can unlock additional power. But this is nothing new to you guys if you are my longtime viewers with the N54, of course. But this will be my first experience trying to tune a B58. It's been a while. I wanted to experience how the car feels stock. Now I'll give you guys my impression with regards to how it feels on stage 2. There's really no point going with anything but an off-the-shelf map unless you're going to go an upgraded turbo, in my opinion. So that would be the next thing. Custom tune, upgraded turbo, running some ethanol mix with a high pressure fuel pump upgrade. But for now, this should be the sweet spot. I've heard even the stage 1 is a sweet spot, but with the downpipe, this should be your best bang for your buck in terms of power for the money. So I'll let this finish up. So as you saw there, I had an error where there's a failed right, but I believe on these cars you want to be sitting in the driver's seat, doors closed with your seatbelt on so the ignition doesn't time out while it's flashing. And also I connected a battery charger just to be safe. So let's give it a first start now with the flash tune and we'll see how it sounds without that cold start. Okay, it sounds awesome. Nice and quiet, actually. I like that. It doesn't have that loud roar on cold start. I know some of you guys like that, but it was a bit obnoxious for my taste. So in comfort mode, just driving normally, everything just feels like business as usual. Throttle input is nice and responsive, but it's not overly aggressive. It pretty much feels like factory. I gotta get some heat in the motor before I push it at all. I can tell you when you get about 20% on throttle, it's night and day. Super torquey, it's a different car. Just lightly getting on the throttle, huge difference. Feels like it's got way more torque. So that's awesome. Yeah, big difference just on partial throttle in comfort mode. You will notice it, but if you just are driving normally, then you don't lose any of the refinement of just partial throttle driving. That's just as smooth. But the torque is the biggest thing here. You know, it's equally as awesome to go from a stage 0 to stage 2 tune on an N54. This seems to respond just as well. This thing's all-wheel drive, so it really throws you back. And I haven't even gotten any heat into the motor yet, but I can tell you that overall, it's pretty exciting to see how much power it already picked up. Now the car is in Sport Plus, transmission's in Sport mode. Engine has some heat in it now. I put an aftermarket blow-off valve on this car in preparation for when I would tune it, and now I can finally feel it come into play. You can hear it a lot more. So I'm going to give it a 40 punch. Feels very strong, feels powerful. It almost feels like now the car could use an XHP transmission tune. Now in terms of pull, I would say it probably would run 115, 116 mile an hour, something like that. Let me try fourth gear. The torque is really strong. So back in comfort mode. That's the beauty of these tunes, it's Jekyll and Hyde. Your efficiency and emissions and all that is preserved when you're driving normally. It's definitely a low 12-second car now, instead of probably low 13 stock. And I guess if you guys are curious, power-wise, you know, how's this thing pull compared to the G80? The G80 is a lot stronger, but I guess that's no surprise, right? Alright, I was a little bit impressed with that from down low, like 20 mile an hour when you punch it. I guess it's because of the all-wheel drive and the way it put down power, but that was quite the pull. Felt pretty good. You know, not super far off with the G80, surprisingly. Once you get going on the highway, it's a different story. Alright, let's come back to a conclusion. Alright guys, that'll conclude this video showing you how to flash tune your F-Series car, specifically with the B58 engine. The process is pretty much the same as it has been for a long time with MHD. Thought I'd bring you guys along in case you haven't seen how it's done on this particular chassis and give you my impressions with regards to how the power feels. There'll of course be follow-ups as we do additional mods, etc. If this is the first video you're catching of mine, please consider subscribing. I do upload regularly. Thanks for watching.